from the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio, at the intersection of anticipation and animus. That's right, a tinge of animosity. Why? It's a rematch, folks, of last year's American Conference Championship game. The Memphis Tigers, the champs, the reigning champs, taking on the contenders, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones through the shadows here on an irradiant Saturday afternoon alongside chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak. Paul Carcaterra down to the field, sideline reporter. He'll be joining us in just a moment. Dusty, Cincinnati comes into this game ranked their highest in the nation since 2009. They've had this circled on the calendar for a long time.
No doubt. Memphis has what they want. Year 4 under Luke Fickell. They've been fantastic with 11 wins the last 2 years. They want to win this conference championship, and today is a stepping stone to get to where they want to go. And Memphis comes in with the championship belt. They're a 3-1 record, but man, they've been behind in every single game. They show grit, they show grind, just like the grind city that they come from. And I thought head coach Ryan Silverfield put it best when he said, this is going to be a battle, and we're going to come out swinging. Can't wait to see what this game has in store.
As he is concerned, it's Memphis against everybody. Cincinnati will receive the opening kickoff. Memphis winning the toss, deferring to the second half. This has been a very heated series, folks. Going back to last year, the Tigers defeated the Bearcats twice in consecutive weeks. The last time, the American Championship Game, 29-24. The Tigers have defeated the Bearcats 5 consecutive outings, and we are ready for the opening kick. The Tigers looking for their first win against a top 10 opponent in 24 years. And we are underway. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Bearcats offensively with the touchback. Desmond Ritter's the starting quarterback, a 6'4" junior from Louisville, Kentucky. Had a career week a week ago in their win. He ran the ball for a career-high 179 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also threw the ball very efficiently as well. He's been the guy, the trigger man in consecutive 11-win seasons. And look at his career record as a starter.
The question coming into this game with a Memphis secondary that's really struggled so far this season, can Desmond Ritter in this passing attack take advantage?
Little play action on the first play of the game. Looking up top on the post, trying to hit one. And he threw it down the sidelines after looking at the post. It'll be incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Josh Wiley was there, the closest receiver. Well, mentioned Ritter. He was 15-21 passing the ball last week. As efficient as he has been running the ball, included in those 179 yards, a 91-yard sprint.
He's a strider. He gets out in the open field. He's tough to tackle. I think they need to increase his amount of running the football, similar to what they've done the last 2 years.
Ritter tucks it under and slides in safely at about the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, about 6 to go.
That's a smart play. There wasn't anything down the field, and that's one thing talking with Luke Fickell and offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock. Instead of him just trying to be a pocket passer and make every throw, utilize your best asset, your mobility, and if it's not there down the field, take what you can get with your legs.
Good decision by the reigning American Conference Player of the Week offensively. See what they do here on 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 to go. Ritter to pass and under duress and sacked back at the 22-yard line. Ducksworth was one of the first ones to get there for the Tigers.
Well, this defense runs a lot of inside games. You'll see a stunt coming here. He's going to work here, and he's going to come over the top. Just an inside game with the 2. And you see 97 come clean and a big sack on the opening possession. Mike McIntyre loves that. Outstanding job with the twist. Little confusion by the offensive line, and Memphis defensively off to a hot start.
So into punt comes James Smith, averaging almost 46 yards per punt for Cincinnati. Hasn't had any block this year. No heat. And he gets off a high end-over-end punt. A fair catch called, fumble, a muff. Loose ball, it's on the carpet. No signal yet. It was Calvin Austin back there for the punt. There's a flag down on the play as well. There might have been a little contact with the punt returner. They'll have to decipher this after they unstack and unpile the bodies.
Okay.
There's a flag down as the officials discuss this. It's ruled Tigers football on the field.
The ruling on the field is a muff recovered by the receiving team after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Receiving team number 19 for pulling a player off the pile. 15-yard penalty. First down, Memphis.
All right, so they'll move it back after the penalty against the Tigers. I guess you're not allowed to pull guys off the pile, Dusty.
No, you're not. Let's take a look at it here. Calvin Austin, a guy we'll be talking about a lot today. He calls for the fair catch, and see, there was contact.
Yeah, he got hit
prior to that by Alec Pierce, who came down. I was surprised we didn't see a flag on that from the official.
First down and 10 for the Tigers from their own 17-yard line, 18-yard line on their opening drive here. Starting quarterback is Brady White, completing 65% of his passes on the season. The 6-year senior is going to hand it off on 1st and 10 to Clark. Rodriguez Clark will get a couple of yards on the play. Blanco making the tackle. There's a look at the starting quarterback, Brady White. Maxwell Award watch list. Last week threw for 4 touchdowns, 313 yards. The transfer from Arizona State. Nowhere to go between the tackles that time for Clark. He was engulfed. Long third down coming up, Dusty.
Big J. Sanders had a nice inside move. And I'm looking for Brady White. They love to move him outside the pocket. Situations like this, very good accuracy on the move.
White out of the shotgun. 4 receivers on this route. Pass complete to Sean Dykes, but it appears as if, according to that spot, he's a yard shy of that first down.
It's good coverage by James Wiggins, but you'd like Dykes to take that route a little bit further, push it up to where the sticks are. He comes back to catch the football, and well done by James Wiggins escorting him out of bounds just short of the first down.
So each team's defense gets a stop on their respective first series, and into punt comes Adam Williams for Memphis, averaging almost 43 yards per. Ryan Montgomery back deep for the Bearcats, standing at his own 31-yard line. A low returnable punt, but he calls for the fair catch at the 23-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 on the second series of the ball game for Desmond Ritter, the reigning conference player of the week, ready to give the Tigers some work when we come back. There is a tidal wave, a tsunami of expectation here in Cincinnati. Look at the start that they're off to. Their best and highest ranking since 2009. Back-to-back 11-win seasons, a 16-game home winning streak, and stellar clutch play. A maturity that head coach Luke Fickell says that he has enjoyed watching over the past several weeks. They've got the ball 1st down and 10 from their own 25. Second series of the ball game for quarterback Desmond Ritter. He completes and out to the 27-yard line, out to the perimeter. Well, that's interesting. 2nd down and 4. It has been a very tumultuous week. Last couple of days down there in Clemson, South Carolina. That pass complete right at the 1st down marker to Ja'Shawn Jackson, a guy that's really been coming on of late for the Bearcats.
Solid job sitting down the soft spot in the zone. Interesting what we've seen here to start this game. 5 straight passes to start the game here for Cincinnati. Have yet to see Jarrett Dokes, who's coming off back-to-back 100-yard games, get the football yet.
1st down and 10. Play clock all the way down to 5. Ritter on the quick slant, incomplete. Intended for Leonard Taylor.
Just a little quick game there on the slant to Leonard Taylor. Open in the middle of the field. I thought the pass was on target. Just a drop by the big tight end for Cincinnati.
Get him right in the hands. They come out with a trips formation now to the top of the screen. Second down and 10 for Cincinnati.
Desmond Ritter having free reign. Second straight play, he's checking into something different based off of what he's getting.
Play clock all the way down to 1. Finds his receiver over the middle. That's number 12, Alec Pierce, who is playing in just his second game of the season. What does he mean to the Cincinnati team?
Oh, he's everything to them. He's a go-to guy. He's got a great rapport with the quarterback. You know, led this team a season ago in yards receiving, and you know, just has a really good comfort level with Desmond Ritter. Great to have him back on the field. And as you can see right there, found a nice spot for Desmond Ritter to find him for a first down.
Had 3 catches in their win a week ago. Out near midfield now, first down and 10 for the Bearcats. Ritter completes this one to Montgomery. And Montgomery all the way down to the 43 near another first down for the Bearcats, but there's a flag down on the play.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. The result of the play is a first down.
Well, it's been a struggle so far this year for Mike McIntyre's secondary, and TJ Carter, their best cornerback, out again for a third straight game. They're giving up, coming into the day, 440 yards a game through the air, 600 against UCF, and clearly the game plan today is to try to exploit that secondary of Memphis.
Trey Tucker in motion to the top of the screen. Ritter taking a shot downfield. Pierce on the other end. Trick or treat. Bearcats touchdown. What a grab.
When you ask me what is having Alec Pierce give this offense, size, comfort, and a guy who could go up and get the football down the field. Working out of the slot, just run straight up the seam. As we talked about this secondary, nobody identifies of high points to football. And wow, what an explosive play for this Cincinnati Bearcat passing attack.
Alec Pierce is back. And if you were wondering, there's your evidence. His first touchdown catch of the season, last year's leading receiver, making an imprint early in this ball game for the Bearcats.
And what confidence that has to give Desmond Ritter, the quarterback. He's had his issues throwing the football the last couple of games. They wanted to establish him, get his confidence up. What a great drive that was for the quarterback, Desmond Ritter.
Impressive on their second possession of the ball game. Ritter knew he had to be better this year in the passing game, and it's time to beat the drum for the Bearcats.
Good protection down the field. Just let your big target go up and make a play. Desmond Ritter likes it, and the Bearcats up early here at home.
Pierce beating the drum. They've won 14 of the last 16 games. Those 2 losses were against these Memphis Tigers. So a potential day of atonement here for Cincinnati. Leading 7-0. From the 8-yard line. And all the way out to the 23 from Cincinnati. Mark Jones alongside Dusty Dvorak, chopping it up with Paul Carpetero down on the sidelines. In a rematch of last year's American Championship Game. To the edge, complete, and off to the races. Taj Washington. Taj taking it to the crib. Home across the line.
Touchdown, Memphis. On a 92-yard completion for Brady White.
Well, they don't have a lot of size outside, but they have speed. And right there, Taj Washington made a couple of guys miss, and it's off to the races with a huge touchdown for this explosive Memphis offense.
In a burst across the field, Taj Washington, the freshman from Marshall, Texas, really starting to come into his own. Made a big impact last week with a couple of touchdown catches and one here early in the first quarter. And we're tied at 7, Dusty.
Wow, the explosiveness of this offense. And you'll see Taj Washington, they're just going to motion him back in, just a little wide receiver screen out on the perimeter. As he works back, good blocking on the edge. You see Taj Washington just gets behind his offensive lineman. They get to those safeties and linebackers. There was a crease, and that's all he needed. Heels to the field as he takes it to the house. Wow.
Broke that tape in record time.
It was a really nice job by the right tackle, Dylan Parham, getting out as he pulled to get out in front, securing and setting up that lane for Washington to take it the distance.
There was a great moment in that UCF game as he blows kisses to whoever's watching. Brady White, his quarterback right there during that UCF game, told him, be ready, I'm going to come to you. He made some big plays there, and he's been an improved receiver since.
And remember, Damani Coxie, he opted out the week of UCF, and it's been Calvin Austin, it's been Taj Washington that have stepped up and filled that void. And even Kevin Johns told us yesterday about his receivers. They're faster and more dynamic, even without Damani Coxie.
Really speaks to the tremendous player development that they do at Memphis, a culture that's been there for several years. Look at it. Cincinnati will first down and 10 from their own 25.
We've mentioned, just stepped right in and done an outstanding job being productive for this offense.
Let's see what kind of answer the Bearcats have. Ritter on the RPO keeps it and picks up about 9 on the play. Tackle made by Pickens. Let's go down to Paul.
Well, Alec Pierce is back on the field. After the touchdown, he sat out the next series. He had a knee injury that had him out a couple games. He's Desmond Ritter's big, deep threat. And I'll tell you what, I walked by him moments ago. He looks the part. He had a ton of offers out of high school. It was a big get for Luke Fickell. Missouri wanted him. Indiana wanted him. Illinois, a lot of big-time Big Ten programs were after Alec Pierce. They need him in the deep ball.
Big target, Paul, into the boundary, an important piece of their offense. Nowhere to go that time for Trey Tucker. He's the guy they like to use on those jet sweeps.
Tucker's got excellent speed. It was a pretty solid job of the Memphis front stringing that out, but Cincinnati only needed a couple yards, and Tucker able to pick it up. He is dynamic on the perimeter. Had a 97-yard kick return against USF earlier this month, and he's truly got game-breaking speed if you can give him a crease.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. That's going to be Jared Dokes. Dokes pounding it straight ahead behind that offensive line of Hudson, Cooper, Renfro, McConnell, Harper.
You know, an area we haven't touched on yet, Jake Renfro, true freshman, is starting at center for the second straight game. The coaches raved about his ability to step in against SMU last week and the way that he played. He earned this starting spot, and it's a great matchup inside against #1 O'Brien Goodson, one of the best nose tackles in the American Conference.
Second down and 6. Ritter down the middle, on target, on point. Taylor with the catch down to the 35-yard line. Leonard Taylor on the other end of that frozen rope by Ritter.
This is the best Desmond Ritter thrown the football all year. Nice pocket. He steps up, climbs, and throws his receiver open, anticipating Taylor to come open in the middle, and fires a dart.
And Cincinnati a little heavy on the pass side of the equation so far in this rematch of last year's American Conference Championship game. Coming off back-to-back 11-win season, Cincinnati looking for a little atonement against the Tigers, beating the drum hard when we come back to the Queen City. Welcome back, everyone, to ESPN College Football, presented by Geico. From Cincinnati, this is the 37th hookup between Memphis and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Ritter pulling the trigger, first down and 10 from the Memphis 22. Hands it off to Jared Dokes. Broke a tackle, still on his feet. Dokes plowing his way down to the 15. He really moved the pile, but Clemens finally brought him down.
Had the right play call in. They brought a corner blitz. Francis was free hitter off the edge, but good, powerful run by Jared Dokes.
This Tigers defense has been good in the red zone this year. Dokes going to get another opportunity and brought down after a gain of about 1 on the play. It'll be third down now and about 2 to go.
Nice job up front by the defensive line. Morris Joseph getting in there. Rodney Owens off the edge. Nowhere for Dokes to get going. They're really short here. Zone read worked so well for them a week ago. Be surprised if we don't see that element here.
Dokes beside Ritter. Hands it off. Keeps it himself. Going to do it himself. And Ritter runs.
Touchdown.
Touchdown Bearcats. Just inside the pylon.
Desmond Ritter.
He outstretched that right arm of his. And as we get a chance to look at it, our ESPN rules analyst, Rogers, what do you think here?
The issue is whether or not he got the ball across the pylon before he stepped out of bounds. That's a touchdown. They'll confirm that as a touchdown.
I'm with you, Rogers. That
Yeah.
the first foot is inbounds. The second foot never touches down out of bounds until after the ball crosses the goal line. Well done by Desmond Ritter on the zone read keep.
Right, and he keeps that ball in his right hand to pass inside the pylon, so there's no question about it having to extend the goal line.
So Desmond Ritter scores another rushing touchdown. He had 3 last week. And the Bearcats lead by 7 as they continue to beat the drum for the second time here this afternoon. Boy, Ritter with some tremendous prestidigitation, some handiwork here on the fake.
Very reminiscent. Let's look at the eyes. Reading here. And as you can see, nobody here. That's a keep all day. Desmond Ritter knows if that defensive end gets logged inside, he's going to trust his speed to beat the safety who's trying to come downhill. And it's Desmond Ritter with his feet to the perimeter. An outstanding job staying in bounds and scoring the touchdown. Very reminiscent. Great job at the mesh point reading that edge. You saw Rodney Owens 30 get caught inside. As soon as he saw that his shoulder wasn't outside, that's a keep all day, and that's 6 for the junior quarterback from Louisville.
Stellar numbers so far as we go up 7 now.
Austin with the reception yet, and this is the matchup I've been waiting for all day. We'll take a look at this, but good on good up top. Ahmad Gardner, Calvin Austin. Ahmad Gardner, one of the premier cornerbacks, not just in the American Conference, but in all of college football with his length and physicality. And Calvin Austin, he is a burner.
This year. They looked that way towards Austin, and Sauce might be called for interference here.
Oh, it's a tug, man. He got him on a double move. Calvin Austin, he beat him. Slant and go, and Gardner had to.
From the 35. White pulls it out, delivers incomplete near midfield. Broken up nicely by Wiggins. It was intended for Sean Dykes.
Excellent break on the football by the safety, James Wiggins. That ball is put in a good spot. You see the break there, gets that left arm right there to get the PBU. Outstanding defense by James Wiggins. Healthy and playing at a high level right now for this defense.
Cincinnati's only given up 1 passing touchdown all year. Tiger's going to run it. Nice run by Kylan Watkins. It'll be 3rd down coming up for Memphis. Trying to answer that previous touchdown by the Bearcats. The ball at the 41. A lot of substitutions. Watkins comes out. Dykes comes out.
Weaver comes in. He's more their 3rd down back. They love him in pass protection. If Marcus Freeman wants to dial up a blitz, they feel good about that. And here's the matchup. Bottom of your screen once again. Gardner and Calvin Austin.
Washington split to the top of your screen, number 18. He had the touchdown on their last score. White looking Washington's way, won't get a chance. He's going to be sacked back at the 37-yard line by Marcus Brown.
Well, it's an outstanding job right here. I want you to watch as he works this way. Watch him get that rip up. He rips up on the center all the way to the sky, gets it high, and he forces that offensive lineman to let go of him as he gets a big sack on 3rd down. Outstanding job on the inside by Marcus Brown. Quickness off the snap, gets to an edge, and gets that high rip to get a big-time sack.
Williams into punt. Montgomery staying at his own 23-yard line for the Bearcats. Calls for the fair catch at the 27-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats, and quarterback Desmond Ritter when we come back to Nippert Stadium. And welcome back, everyone, to Cincinnati. Look at some of the Halloween goings on locally here. Oh, Dusty, I don't do haunted houses, man. I get nightmares.
What are you talking about?
I get nightmares, man.
It's for fun. It's supposed to be fun. Come on, Mark.
Well, it's been scary for that Memphis defense because Desmond Ritter's got a hot hand. 12 of 15 passing. They hand it off this time to Ford as we go down to Paul. Paul, what's up?
Desmond Ritter has established himself as a serious running threat, so his body could take a beating. And there's been a transformation. On the left is what he looked like when he arrived on campus. On the right, this last off season, looks like he's been lifting with Dusty and Jonesy.
Ooh, big swole right there.
I tell you what,
got that good body armor on.
Man, you could do a load of laundry on those abs. A little washboard action there, huh?
That's impressive.
Huh.
Good strength and development here at Cincinnati.
And he's going to use it here, Dusty. Sprinting to the edge and picking up enough for another first down for the Bearcats.
Again, I said before the game, man, I would start running him 10+ times a game. Such a weapon on the edges and in the open space when he turns into a runner. As we see right there, the edge is open. He takes advantage of it. Another nice run and a first down.
Fell in love with football as a 4-year-old. His grandmother, Jan, taught him how to throw a football when he was very young. Jan, a big fan of his still. Here's Ritter pulling the trigger complete to the wide side of the field. That's Michael Young on the other end of that catch.
Short game, but a strong throw. That's from the far hash all the way outside the numbers, and it's on a rope. Desmond Ritter continues to stay in a groove today, throwing the football down the field with confidence, velocity, and accuracy.
2nd down and 7. Dokes in the backfield. Dokes takes the handoff, breaks a tackle, got a block. And Jarrett Dokes, one of the leaders on that offensive unit, makes it inside the 40 to the 38.
Well, here's the mesh again. Watch this blocking all the way down off the left side. It's a really nice job. And you can see as Ritter's going to read this, guys here, so he's going to give it. But then Dokes with a nice cutback, getting good blocking, washing everything from the left side down. It's an outstanding job by James Hudson. 81 Josh Wiley to help spring that run for Jarrett Dokes.
The senior from Indianapolis. One of the leaders, one of the powerful voices on this Bearcats team. Pass underneath, complete to Wiley. Wiley upended in a big way. And he lands a little breakdance at the 23-yard line. Look at this.
Well, he went up. Quindale Johnson went low. Ooh, be careful as you land. That looks painful, Jonesy.
Hung on to the football. Great job by Wiley.
Nice adjustment on that catch, too. He was running a crossing route. Ball was on his back hip. Made the adjustment, the catch, and the yards after the reception.
5 receivers on 1st down and 10. Ritter on the quarterback draw. He's going to be brought down after a short gain of about 3 on the play.
Double stun on that when they go empty. You have to anticipate some quarterback run game. Quarterback draw in the middle. And they had it well played with penetrators from the outside anticipating quarterback draw. Time of possession. We've been talking about them running down this clock. Look at that. Well over doubled up the time possession for Cincinnati over Memphis.
Have a feeling Memphis won't be running 84 plays this afternoon like they usually do. New tailback in, that's Ford. Ford hanging on to the football. He put it on the ground last week in that game against SMU, brought down by Lindsey and Oliver on the play. 3rd down and short, Dusty.
Cincinnati offensive line here on a couple of runs during this drive, getting some really good movement push at the point of attack. Starting to be some big holes opening up for these Cincinnati offensive linemen. I'd anticipate they keep it on the ground here. Zone read has worked very well in these spots for the Cincinnati offense.
And Dokes is back in the backfield in place of Ford.
They love to run the quarterback if he keeps it behind those two tight ends.
He hands it off to Dokes between the tackles and a first down inside the 10. Jared Dokes, one of those powerful voices, and productive as well on the field. Scored their third touchdown of the game last week in that win. They go quick. Dokes again picks up about 3.
Right back to it. Now we see Cincinnati looking like the Cincinnati Bearcat offense most people have grown accustomed to. A little bit of ground and pound here. And again, this offensive line really starting to settle in, get movement, get push, and run the football pretty effectively.
Second down and goal for Cincinnati.
Josh Wiley in the slot. Target in the throw game here. Big catch radius.
Dokes in the backfield. Ritter to throw. Through his progression. Touchdown! What a grab and pass.
Touchdown.
Michael Young, do your dance.
On a 6-yard touchdown reception from Desmond Ritter.
The Notre Dame transfer with his second touchdown catch of the season.
Desmond Ritter is locked in. You'll see Michael Young come from out of the screen as he's going to work a slant, stutter, and just work away from the defender. It's an outstanding route. Little dig as he works inside. That pass is put up high where only his receiver can go make a play. Strong hands. And a nice touchdown to cap off that drive with Michael Young.
Desmond Ritter is playing like he has very vivid, sharp memories of losing to this Memphis team a year ago in the championship game. He has been on fire, 16 of 20 passing. Laser focused, 170 yards and all, 2 touchdowns. Can't spell TD or Desmond without the D. Here's a look at the AT&T 5G Skycam. And a good look at that touchdown catch on the other end, Thomas.
Excellent route there by Michael Young. Perfectly placed football high where only his wide receiver can get it. Desmond Ritter under pressure took a hit as he delivered that throw. Continues to play essentially flawless football in the first half.
And it's going to come out. This is Ivory, the freshman. And he's bottled up at about the 15-yard line. White with nowhere to go, and just as we talk about that defense being impervious, another big play. Marcus Freeman turned down some head coaching offers to stay on staff with Luke Fickell this year at Cincinnati.
Young, impressive, innovative, outstanding communicator, recruiter. Young man with a bright, bright future as more than just a defensive coordinator in college football.
Second down and 16. Pass over middle near the first down marker. Austin with the catch. And, you know, it was interesting last year, Dusty, to hear Freeman tell us that he kept some of his players on the field, his linebackers in particular, in the wake of that loss in the championship game. And he said, guys, look around you. Absorb what's happening right now. Stay in this moment. Capture that feeling of disappointment you use and use it as motivation for the upcoming season.
He told them that's what we're chasing. And he said today is not about a trophy. It's a chance to measure where we are so eventually we have the chance to hold up that trophy.
1:36 to go. White with a little play fake. Going up top, a little bump and grind downfield. And incomplete, no flag on the play.
Great matchup with Ahmad Gardner, Calvin Austin. I just love the physical. Look at the hands on him at the line of scrimmage. It is tough. It is physical when you play against Ahmad Gardner. He's got that length. I like the no call there. Let him play a little bit.
Gardner out of Detroit, Michigan. He earned that nickname last year. He came in with his own moniker, but Coach Freeman said, hey, you got to do something to earn that nickname, Sauce. Next game, he came up with a couple of picks and said, is that good enough, Coach? It's been Sauce ever since. On second down, a little receiver screen. And a first down catch and run. Number 84, Matthew.
Good block on the edge there by the big tight end. Cameron Wilson, 45, came outside, helped spring him. Pick up enough to move the sticks.
Under a minute to go in the first half. White to the near side of the field, pass complete to his tight end, Cameron Wilson. And Wilson picks up the first down, pushed out of bounds. They move the chains again with 47 seconds to go in the half.
This would be a huge scoring drive if Memphis can take points away here before halftime. Aside from the big 92-yard Taj Washington touchdown on the screen, this offense really had done nothing so far in the first half, giving themselves some confidence and momentum before the break.
Coach Silverfield said that this was going to be the best defense they've faced so far this year. Proven to be true. White has a lot of time, surveys, fires, incomplete. Had a receiver open downfield. That was Sean Dykes.
He had a man just miss. Brady White wishes he could have this throw by. Sean Dykes, as soon as he clears Jarrell White, he is open. White anticipates it just a little bit past his intended target. Missed opportunity there by the 6-year senior quarterback.
Sean Dykes, a real mismatch type of guy, runs like a wide receiver, built like a tight end. 42 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 10. Rodriguez-Clark empties it out. White almost picked off by Sauce. Oh, wow. Gardner wishes he could get that one back. That would have been pick number 4 for him on the season.
Man, it's entertaining watching this. Excellent inside move. Watch the recovery by Gardner, undercutting the route. He's going to be slapping his hands. That could have easily been picked off. You see the length, the size, and the instinctiveness of Ahmad Gardner. 3 straight games, he's had an interception, and he was looking to make it 4.
He was looking forward to playing against Coxie, who's not here. Coxie shut it down for the NFL draft, but Austin is a handful as well. Third down and 10 for White. Throws it incomplete, nobody even close, and no flag as well. Fourth down, and Silverfield will bring in his field goal unit.
Well, Jarrell White was barreling down on him. Brady White knew that it was going to be a foot race, and he was not going to outrun the outstanding linebacker, Jarrell White. So really had no other choice but just to get rid of the football and keep his team in field goal range.
Riley Patterson is 5 of 8 on the season, has a long of 56. This one coming from 42, low snap. They got it down in time. Great job to get the snap down. And Patterson knocks it through from 42 yards out to make it an 11-point game. Desmond Ritter leading this team into the locker room up by 11, but beware, because last year Luke Fickell remembers what happened late in the game when Memphis came back to steal it both times. Right now we're going to send it to Matt Berry, Jesse Palmer, and Joey Galloway. Guys, take it away. As we approach the third quarter of play, some cogent numbers so far other than the ones on the scoreboard. It's 21-10 as Cincinnati leading, enjoying their highest ranking since 2009. As we check out our first half stats brought to you by Zaxby's. Dusty, the number that jumps off the page at me is the number of total yards for Memphis, only 155, a team that averages almost 550 per game.
Yeah, the Cincinnati defense, I mean, they have been locked and loaded so far today. We knew coming in one of the premier defenses, not just in the American Conference, but in all of college football. And for a high-powered Memphis offense that is pretty balanced, running it, throwing it, they really haven't been able to get much going on in that first half.
Coming back against Cincinnati, they've done it twice in the last 2 meetings. How'd they do it again here?
Well, they're battle-tested. That's the thing. They've been behind in every single game, down at halftime against Temple, down at halftime against UCF. They found ways to win games. They need to establish a run, and Brady White is going to have to get in some kind of flow and be able to disrupt what that secondary Cincinnati's been able to do.
They'll get a chance here to start with possession in the third quarter. First down and 10 from the 35 for the Tigers. Brady White Gonna hand it off to Clark. Great backside pursuit by Sanders. Let's go down to Paul.
Embarrassing, Mark. That's what Ryan Silverfield just told me about the 16 yards rushing in the first half. He challenged his offensive line to win the one-on-one matchups, and he said with Cincinnati's defense, their corners, they'll play you on an island. They have to capitalize on the outside with guys like Calvin Austin.
Second. Quick slant complete to Austin. Hit immediately by Kobe Bryant, the defensive back.
Clearly a point of emphasis at halftime to get Calvin Austin more involved. His second reception here to start the second half. Both coming off the RPO right here working the slot.
Looking at 3rd down and 4 coming up.
And that's where Taj Ward is, the backup of Arquan Bush. We'll see if they pick on him.
White looks that way. Has Clark open out of the backfield. Made a nice move in open field all the way down to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. DeBlanco finally making the tackle.
Well, they know they've got man-to-man coverage. They run everything off from the boundary side of the field. Just put Clark over there on a route matched up against a linebacker. He was on 41, DeBlanco. DeBlanco had no chance to get over the top. Easy pitch and catch and nice yardage after the catch.
Got Austin working against Gardner at the top of the screen. They hand it off instead to Rodriguez Clark. Great lineage of running backs at Memphis. Patrick Taylor, last year's starting tailback, right now on the Green Bay Packers roster.
I've been impressed with Rodriguez Clark watching his tape. 3 of the 4 games, 100 yards, downhill between the tackles. And man, when he gets it, he hits it.
Still not a finished product and improving every game. They're going to run it again, and nowhere to go that time for Kylan Watkins. 3rd down. Watkins, no gain on the play. What do you like here, Dusty, as you look at all the signage?
I like Sean Dykes if they can get the matchup they're looking for. And also, I mean, obviously Calvin Austin. I mean, he's their go-to guy. They lean on him so much. 3rd medium, I would be, I'd look for them to try to find Sean Dykes, the tight end. See if they can get a matchup they like and get him open.
3rd down and 7 for White. Steps up. Great pump fake and slides in just shy of that 1st down. I'm not sure why he wouldn't just go even head first.
I think he had to be lost on the football field. He could have easily
got to go for it here,
that
right?
1st down.
Got to go for it here?
Yeah, I think you go for it here. Down 11. I mean, he had it pretty easily. He sees 5-4 is coming up, and he hits the turf. Yeah, this is definitely the go zone here, this Memphis offense.
Watkins in the backfield. Play clock down to 4. White into the end zone. Incomplete. No flag on the play. Bearcats take over on downs. Well defended by Beavers. He was looking for Sean Dykes.
Good pressure once again on Brady White. He was looking for his tight end, found the matchup he wanted, got him on a linebacker. Just could not get a pass in his direction. Cincinnati defense bend, but didn't break on the opening possession of the second half.
Brady White spent a lot of time on the sidelines this afternoon. Ritter gets rid of it quickly. Pass throw, and it's going to be caught for the 1st down at the 28-yard line. What an effort on that play by Jordan Jones.
Outstanding adjustment to the football, back shoulder. Not only does he catch the football, but drags the foot before he falls out of bounds. Outstanding individual effort by Jordan Jones. And how about the pressure? Gets home in Ritter's face right now. He just has to get that ball out, and a big 3rd down conversion.
Senior from Smackover, Arkansas. Dokes over the left side of that offensive line picks up about 3. Let's go down to Paul.
Have an Alec Pierce update. The good news, it's not his knee that held him out the last few games. The bad news, his left shoulder. And at the end of the 2nd quarter, I saw him walking into the locker room. He was in a ton of pain. He has not returned from the locker room, so it looks like Desmond Ritter's deep threat will be done for the day.
Well, thus we saw Jones, Paul, a moment ago. Jaden Thompson also in the rotation at receiver for the Bearcats. Wiley in motion, then sets. It's going to be Wiley on the move and out near the 45-yard line. A well-designed play by Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator.
What's that same zone read? This time the tight end, instead of being, as we're going to see, look at him read it right there, and now this is his outlet, and he's got a run pass option after he decides to keep it. He can keep it, run with it, utilize that tight end as a lead blocker, or he's an outlet pass as he found Josh Wiley for a nice pickup.
From the 44, first down and 10. Ritter shoots it out deep and caught at the 10-yard line. What a grab by Jackson. Jay-Sean Jackson laid out.
Well, it's all working for Desmond Ritter in this passing attack here today. Quality job keeping his arms underneath the football as he contains full possession of the ball through the contact with the ground. That ball put out where only his receiver could go make a play, and make a play Jay-Sean Jackson did.
Boy, Ritter has been on point this afternoon. Another long completion. Hands it off to his running back. That's Ford. Ford and Dokes have done a good job of holding onto the football today. They both had fumbles last week. There's a look at Jones, who made that big catch a moment ago. 7.5 to go in the third quarter. The Bearcats threatening.
A nice mix of run and pass here, Jonesy, on this opening possession for Cincinnati in the second half.
They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. 2nd and 6. Ritter hands it off, and nowhere to go that time for Jared Dokes. He was met immediately. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Dorcius making the nice tackle on the play. Joseph Dorcius, who sometimes sees a little action on offense.
Use him as a fullback. He's even got a fake punt successfully utilized against Arkansas State. It was also a Brian Goodson to clean that up there. We have not called his name very much today, which I think speaks volumes. The job the true freshman Jake Renfro's done in the middle of that offensive line.
3rd down and 8. Ritter going to try and pass now. Surveys, great pump fake, heading for the pylon. Touchdown! Ritter, the wizard, with another touchdown run.
Bearcats on a 9-yard run from Desmond Ritter.
This is what you've been looking for from Desmond Ritter. Surveys the field. Now watch this. Look at this lane open up. And he sees it, utilizes it, and says, I'm just going to make a play with my athleticism. I can outrun them to the pylon. And he finds pay dirt for the 2nd time today on the ground. Desmond Ritter got it all working here this afternoon against Memphis.
He's run the ball 9 times for 43 yards. 239 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, and it was all set up by the big pass and catch to Jordan Jones. That put them in scoring range. Check that, it was Jay-Sean Jackson with the big catch. And then the finishing touches by Ritter. Back after this. The reigning champs, Memphis Tigers in the American Conference, behind the Bearcats, who are looking to snap that 5-game losing streak against Memphis. From the 9-yard line, the kickoff return. This is Washington. And Taj Washington out over the 30. It'll be White out of the backfield, complete. A little bit of running room that time for Kylan Watkins. Very versatile running back and coming out of the backfield as a receiver. 2nd down.
I like Watkins' game. Got good vision, great cutback, and as you mentioned, his versatility. He's an outstanding pass receiver out of the backfield or even lined up in the slot for this offense.
2nd and 7 They fake the jet sweep and wide open out of the backfield. Here he is again, Watkins, with a head of steam coming downhill. Paul, what's good on the field?
Not great news for Cincy. Arquan Bush, he's done for the day with an upper body injury, and this is a strength of Marcus Freeman's defense, but Bush is certainly a leader. This unit only allowed 2 touchdowns through the air on the season, but you want Bush back there. He's a great nickel.
Yeah, they've only given up, Paul, a total of 241 yards so far. And nowhere to go that time for the tailback. Watkins brought down by Van.
Well, there's been a lot of penetration today from the Cincinnati front. Remember, it's a 3-man front primarily. They're just having their way at the point of attack as you see Ryan Silverfield look up in the air and somewhat of disgust with the way his offensive lines had their struggles moving people in the run game.
First-year head coach, has some NFL lineage in his coaching background. 2nd down and 12. White, pass complete to Austin. Boy, Austin in traffic, sure-handed in a crowd, comes away with it.
Excellent route runner, the quickness, the speed, and making competitive catches really has jumped off the tape here these last 2 weeks as he's become the focal point of the passing game here for Memphis.
Guy with 10.5 100-meter speed. White downfield, incomplete, intended for Ivory. There are a lot of guys in the vicinity.
It's good coverage down the field. You can tell Brady White is so cautious to throw the football because, man, there's ball hawks out there. Mark Gardner trying to undercut the route. I mean, he's waiting for it to come open, and you see there are 5. Derek Forrest coming in from the safety position, jumping up to try to get in his viewpoint. Just can't locate his target. Crucial 4th down here for Memphis. Down 18, they got to go.
Austin at the bottom of your screen, matched up against Sauce Gardner. There it is. White looked that way. He's going to get swallowed, engulfed, and eviscerated back at the 45-yard line. The Bearcats take over on downs. Myjai Sanders, the first one on the sack. That's your guy, Dusty.
Love watching this guy on tape. He's got length, he's got get off, and it's just a pure speed rush. He wins on the edge against Obina easy, and it looked easy there for Myjai Sanders with a nice sack on a crucial 4th down. Myjai Sanders must have been practicing that all week, right?
Yeah, he had good form on that.
Looked good.
The graveyard dance that Michael Jackson did in that famous video. Nice run on 1st down as Dokes is brought down. He's asking for a face mask. And now time for today's Aflac trivia question. Cincinnati's 16-game home win streak is the 4th longest active streak in the FBS. Which teams have longer active streaks?
I'll give you one, and it's in jeopardy right now. One of those is Clemson.
Yeah.
They're down 28-20.
I'm guessing maybe an SEC team somewhere. 2nd down and 1. Dokes running to the edge, picks up the 1st down as we're going to get to the answer before everybody gets a chance to cheat and Google it like my partner does sometimes.
I don't Google these. Come on, man. What you get?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He doesn't cheat, folks. 16-game home winning streak. Which team? Clemson, you were right. Notre Dame at 22. Wow. Ohio State at 21.
You know why Bama's not there, right? Remember LSU went in there last year.
That's right.
Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Went into Tuscaloosa and got a win.
Served them. 1st down and 10 from the 30. There's that jet sweep they like to run with Trey Tucker. And Tucker picks up another 1st down, wearing down that Tigers defense. Home win streaks. Cincinnati at number 4, Memphis at 12.
Impressive. Both of our teams here today handling their business at home. Memphis with their hands full here today on the road.
Cincinnati coming into the game ranked number 7. We'll see what the College Football Playoff Committee does when the votes are tabulated and that first poll and standings come out. Dokes with nowhere to go is going to be brought down at the 21-yard line by Clemens.
They need to take a long, hard look at this football team that we see today on the field at Cincinnati. And If Desmond Ritter can perform throwing the football the way he has today, with this rushing attack, with this defense, I know a lot of people would say, well, this is a group of 5 school. This is a legitimate quality football team. They got a long way to go before we get there, but they continue on this trajectory. I think they have every right to be in the conversation as one of those 4 teams in the college football playoff.
Yeah, you're not alone in that sentiment. 2nd down and 12. Ritter standing tall in the pocket, wide open, room service, touchdown, Tucker. And the meter continues to run for Ritter. Another touchdown toss.
What I liked is how much air he put onto that football, knowing no defender anywhere in sight. Busted coverage. They turn Trey Tucker loose. And Desmond Ritter puts plenty of air to allow his wide receiver to adjust the football and make an easy walk-in touchdown.
Ritter putting some money on tape today for sure, as Cincinnati's lead increases to 34-10 with the extra point to come.
Point after is good. 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Ritter has been on target, 21 of 25 passing, 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And behind that mask, there's probably a little bit of a smile right now from head coach Luke Fickell. Don't forget to turn your clocks back tonight. White, Austin underneath, and a little run after the catch. Maybe a big run after the catch. Austin all the way down to the 30-yard line before he runs out of bounds. And a big chunk play from White to Austin.
Well, that's the speed by Calvin Austin. See him working right there on Sauce Gardner, and he gets just a step away from ball well placed by Brady White out in front. And that speed is for real, ladies and gentlemen, in the open field. Nice pickup by the former walk-on who's earned his scholarship and earned to be the go-to guy on this offense.
Rodriguez-Clark going to run the ball over the right side of that line down to the 28-yard line. Tackled by Myjai Sanders. Sanders a big part of that defense, number 21. A late qualifier initially here at Cincinnati. Came in at 200 pounds, now up to about 255.
Next level type of player, Jonesy. Outstanding edge rusher.
White over the middle, finds Austin again about a yard short of the 1st down. I'm always amazed by positive weight gain from players when they come in as 200-pound freshmen and as seniors and juniors all the way up to 258. That's not that hard to do. I could do that. I don't know if it would be that good, though.
And we showed the picture earlier, Desmond Ritter, right? I mean, again, I think that speaks to the strength and conditioning program that Luke Fickell has implemented here at Cincinnati.
3 quarters in the books. Cincinnati looking to end that losing streak against the Tigers. Let's go back to the studio. Welcome back, everyone. Memphis with the ball, 3rd down and 2 from the Cincinnati 22. White's going to hand it off to Clark, and Clark's going to be stopped up short. Tough sledding between those tackles, Sanders, Brooks, and Ponder, providing resistance for the Bearcats.
That was Ethan Tuckey there as well. Tight end trying to block down on him. He gets inside of that. And a big hit on the running back.
4th and 1, and they're using the Wildcat here. Clark going to keep it. He didn't make it. The Bearcats intransigent again up front. Jarrell White, the first one there, bowing up, and they'll take over on downs.
Well, I mean, just take a look at him right here. You see inside. Watch him just come downhill. Jarrell White sneaks in at the last moment. He's going to get there first. But it's also Myjai Sanders. I mean, these guys are just changing the line of scrimmage. Myjai Sanders starts it. Jarrell White finishes it off. Marcus Freeman has to be ecstatic with the way this defense is playing. Jarrell White's had an unbelievable year, so productive, flies around, always around the ball carrier. 3 straight games coming in today with 10+ tackles. He's been such a playmaker, and look at those numbers today. One of the most prolific offenses in college football has been virtually shut down by this terrifying Bearcat defense.
Just 10 points as they run it on 1st down. That's Ford. I think back to what Coach Freeman told us, that he kept his linebackers, in particular amongst other defensive players, on the field after last year's championship game loss against Memphis, and told them to absorb that feeling. And man, I wouldn't guess against that, or at least a little of it not working here today, the way that they've played.
You know, one thing I liked about what he had to say as the Cincinnati offense gets going.
It's going to be Ford again. Picks up the first down, gain of 12.
One thing I liked what he had to say was that this is the best defense that he's had. Year number 4 with these guys. A lot of these players have been here, but what he said is it's constant improvement every week. The strength of this defense isn't any one player, isn't any one unit, it's their consistency. And he says we're getting better each week as a defense, and each week is an opportunity to measure exactly where this defense is at. They've passed that test so far here today against this Memphis offense.
Yeah, they're in a really good place. Van Fossen, and in the open field, this is Ford on the move. Touchdown Bearcats. Jerome Ford with a sprint. And a little bit more icing on this one for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Quick strike after the takeaway, Jonesy. Yeah. We typically see a lot of times after a turnover, sudden change, take your shot. He just kept it on the ground, and Jerome Ford.
41-10. It all started with that strip by Wiggins defensively, and the recovery by Van Fossen. There's the hit. Van Fossen picked it up, and then the very next play, the touchdown and the slam dunk. Van Fossen through the leg. Oh. We're going to grade that for you on the other side. And then the touchdown run by Ford, 33 yards into the end zone.
When you get that text tonight from me, don't be hiding.
Put you on call block. 8:02 to go. Bearcats kick off. This is Clark on the return. Completes it out of the backfield, and what a nice hit on Watkins. That defense everywhere. That's Cook. Let's go down to Paul.
Well, Dusty, you mentioned that Memphis and Coach Ryan Silverfield pride themselves on running the ball. Well, I spoke to Jarrell White this week. They pride themselves on stopping the run. He said he wants every running back that goes against them to feel his presence in the entire defense when they bring it.
Well, they've been feeling them all right, like they did on that play right there. White feeling the heat. Taylor on the sack.
There's going to be nightmares that these Memphis offensive players have about this scary, good Bearcat defense, and that's a coverage sack. Excellent coverage down the field. Allowed time for the pass rush to come late. The 5th sack of the day for the Cincinnati team.
Third down and long. Got 4 receivers out on this formation. White, and he's going to be sacked back at the 28-yard line, setting up a long 4th down for the Tigers.
Pinning their ears back, 3rd and long situations. That's what you live for as a pass rusher, and as Marcus Freeman is really utilizing his roster, getting the backups in the game, there's no letdown in the level of play. Dials up a blitz and a twist up front, it gets home, and just a long afternoon for Brady White in this Memphis offense.
Adam Williams into punt. Montgomery watches it bounce, going to bounce out of bounds at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats from there with 5:12 to go. I'm telling you, he's dancing. He just hasn't told his feet yet. Happy Halloween, everybody. 42-10. His squad winning, we would think right now, 42-10. Yes. Let's take a look at today's player spotlight, brought to you by Taco Bell. Man, Desmond Ritter has been incredibly proficient today. Stellar numbers, 21-26, 3 touchdowns, passing, 2 running. He has been the total package for the Bearcats.
And if this can be a launching point for his confidence and this passing attack for Cincinnati, watch out. That's really been the only ingredient that we haven't seen to this point this season. He was on point today from the onset. They got him into a good rhythm. We saw the confidence in his throws. Receivers were making plays down the field. You trust that this running game is going to be quality. The other aspect of his game I like, 10 carries. He had not had double-digit carries coming into today, and that was an area that we saw last week with 179 yards on the ground. They got back to that once again. Just gives even more for opposing defensive coordinators to have to, game plan and have to deal with his skill set.
Right now giving away to Ben Bryant in a quarterback. Ritter beat out Ben Bryant, and it was a much closer battle than a lot of people think it was. Ritter knew that he had to get a lot better in the passing game, and he did just that. Able to beat out Ben Bryant, who's in there now with just under 4 minutes to go. As Montgomery on the last carry. Montgomery beside him now to his right. 3rd down and 5. Bryant going to keep it. Put his hat down and is brought down right at that 1st down marker by Thomas Pickens. And they're going to give him a 1st down.
Tough, hard-fought run there by Ben Bryant. Yeah, talking with Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, you could tell they like him. He's got a good arm, capable runner, and called him fearless with a gunslinger-type mentality. But Desmond Ritter was just the better quarterback when they battled it out in fall camp. But if they need to, they're not afraid to stick him in and trust what he's able to do.
Always good to have 2 instead of 1. 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats. QB2 in the ball game now. Hands it off once again to Jerome Ford. And Ford is brought down after a gain of about 8 as we take a look at this week's AP rankings brought to you by PlayStation 5. Clemson coming back now, leading Boston College by 4. That game on ABC. Any other ones jump off the page at you for tonight?
Absolutely. Oklahoma State, Texas coming up in Stillwater. We were just in Austin last week. I mean, that's a talented Texas football team. And I think the way Arkansas has played, watch out for that game in College Station today. That rivalry, we did that game last year at Jerry World. There's been a lot of close football games. Love the way Barry Odom and that defense have been performing so far this year.
Back to Oklahoma State against Texas. Oklahoma State pretty much the conference's lone shot at the college football playoff right now. That's Jerome Ford running the football.
Yeah, absolutely. The only remaining undefeated team in the Big 12, and they can navigate that. They got Kansas State next week and a bye week before Bedlam. And I would have to imagine most people watching this that are Cincinnati Bearcat fans, they'd be happy to see Texas go ahead and take down Oklahoma State. And that's the real question. If other conferences, if other marquee programs, these teams that are above them continue to falter, and Cincinnati can continue to win and win impressively as they have now pretty much every game this season, College Football Playoff Committee has to take that in consideration, Jonesy.
Hey, man, there's some people out there with that very same sentiment. Boy, Ford out of the pack! Jerome, see ya!
Wow, Jerome Ford, the Alabama transfer, immediately eligible this year. His 2nd touchdown of the day. A power runner. He's got a great combination of size and speed. Watch this leg drive. Watch him drop his pads when he goes into the scrum. Just keep his legs moving. Nobody tackled him, and it's off to the races for Jerome Ford.
Wow. He went into the crowd and came out alone and into the end zone for another score. 48-10. And it's been that type of day for Memphis.
One of those
looking defeated.
It's one of those situations, I think, defensively where everybody expects someone else to make the tackle, and in the end, no one does.
Time to get back to that drum, and Ford. Man, even the hot dogs are leaving. Fair catch called. with 1:30 to go. And the best chance to reach the college football playoff, the percentages look like this, and conspicuous by their absence. The team that we're watching right here, Dusty.
I'm calling into question the All-State playoff predictor.
Go ahead.
That's crazy to me.
Call them out.
No disrespect to BYU. How can you have BYU ahead of where Cincinnati is? I mean, by the way,
that's where I would start too. I don't get that one.
And or Oregon and USC. Now, again, no disrespect to Pac-12. We haven't seen them, and they've got a higher percentage chance than UCF. I think it really calls into question, can a non-Power 5 school with a committee actually put them into the playoff? And this could be the year that that's put to the test.
Cincinnati number 7 coming in. Tigers are going to run it on first down. Thomas on the carry. Adair in a quarterback now. Connor Adair out of Trussville, Alabama, 6'4" junior. 200 pounds will close it out for Brady White. And Ryan Silverfield, the first-year head coach who coached them to the Cotton Bowl game last year, took over after the conference championship win. And Coach Noverell went to Florida State. This team will be back. They got a lot of talent. Their defense, obviously, a work in progress, but they got great coaching to make sure that they get there ultimately.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Ryan Silverfield. I thought he was the right hire. We did their game last year against Penn State in the Cotton Bowl. Been really impressed with meeting with him, talking with him.
Yep.
Carries a chip on his shoulder, really plays up that underdog mentality out of a Division III when he first got his start. This is not the performance he hoped and anticipated for, but I expect him to bounce back.
A great lineage, too, when you look at him coming from the NFL, learning in the NFL, coaching in the NFL with Leslie Frazier, amongst others, at the Minnesota Vikings. And that one will pretty much do it. This one is cooked, glazed, and sliced, folks. That's their first win against Memphis since 2013, snapping that odious 5-game losing streak. Next week, they'll be here at home against Houston as they try to remain perfect. We're going to say goodbye from Nippert Stadium. For Dusty Dvorak, Paul Carcaterra, Rogers Redding, I'm Mark Jones, saying so long from Cincinnati. The Bearcats win it 49-10. Let's send it back to Matt Berry.